guys. I just decided to give you that song. I'll show. Okay, let me show you quickly the song. I love it. This is the name. South Africans are, man, the ones that know how to make beats. They are bad. Look at this. They already has 72k likes. I'm not even surprised. Anyways, I'm going to be very transparent when. Okay, not that I'm going to be very transparent alone. What I'm trying to say is this channel is going to show a lot of raw footage. I'm not going to be editing because I'm someone who gets tired of things easily, if I'm not reaping what I want, So in this case, I'm just making this channel to educate people who are still finding it hard in the Forex market. I'm trying to simplify it as much as possible, like make it the most simplest way based on I have just figured it out. I'm so happy I started Forex last year, but prior to last year I had already I hope you're hearing me. I hope I say prior to last year I had already seen Forex when I was in school for my first degree, but I didn't really take it serious because it didn't look like something that was going to make me money as soon as possible. And I'm glad I did not even get to learn it then, because I'm the kind of person that gets tired of things easily. Anyways, let's get into the video. So my laptop is still loading, so which I want to open it. I want to open up a wider screen so you can see much more. So it's still loading. As you can see, my laptop, I don't get money yet. I'm upcoming. If I buy accounts now, I go start the cash out. So this laptop is a very old laptop inherited from my older brother. The keypad, some buttons are having problems, so to change it I just decided to use an external keypad for it. So yeah, okay. So why my laptop is taking years to boot, or has it finished? Let's see. Let's refresh it a bit. But while that is happening, let's go into MT5 to show a few things. Right now, by the way, I'm at my place of work, the jewelry store in Guarimpa. If you want to buy jewelry, okay. You can see this long cell. Okay, let me go into my quotes. You see I only have two active pairs. One is AUD USD, one is GBP CHF. Now this move just happened this morning, this long sell you are seeing here, okay? While AUD USD also had similar sell also this morning. But now in this channel, you're only going to probably be seeing this video maybe once a week or twice a week at most, and that will be the twice a week will be when I break my trading plan. Okay, so ordinarily you'll be seeing this video once a week because I analyze only on Sundays, maybe like just one pair, and that is the pair I'm trading for the week. If I lose on that pair, then I cannot analyze one more to see how I can make profit for that week. But I'm a partial swing trader and I'm a partial day trader because I only trade once or twice a week, and that's it, So that's how it's going to be. You're going to be seeing it. So now I analyzed this trade on Sunday. This AUD USD, you can see it's AUD USD on Sunday, right? Now yesterday, let me show you the loss. I hope you can see it well. Okay, so look at my history, right? Today is 14th October 2025, right? Let's do 14th October custom period. Let's just do 14 to 14. Okay. Okay, today is 14. I mean 13 rather. maybe 13 to 13. You can see I took a loss yesterday, minus $1.48. Now, how much did I deposit into this account? Let's see today. In this account, you are seeing $9 now, right? What I do is that because I don't have much money, I deposit the standard $10, which is about 20-something thousand naira. Then I withdraw, which is not good, but because that is the money I have to lose, I'll withdraw about 18 or 19,000 thereabouts, right? Then I decided to leave okay. So like I was saying, I deposit the standard $10, maybe $12 on Xness, and then I withdraw about $8 or $9, leaving about $3 in the account. This was how every trader has their own style, right? So this was how I was able to find a way to manage what I have, because I don't have much money even till now, but I've just figured out how to make money in the market properly. So when I withdraw, I now leave $3 in the account, and that's what I'm going to use to trade. So I'll be showing you step by step every week or once a week, like I said. So that $3, sometime last month, September, I turned that $3 to $6 using just NFP. So how my trading plan is, I'm going to use one account for NFP, I'm going to use another account for my regular trade. But for now, I'm just showing you the strategy, and then I'm going to also show you how, when I buy an account, I'm going to show you everything basically. Okay, so now, without long talk, I leave $3 there, and then I traded last week again. Now, as of last week, remember I started last year. As of last week, I was not able to now understand how to manage your losses, lot size, pips, because they are both intertwined. I'll explain as we move forward. So that was how I was not able to. But before yesterday or this week, was it this week or last week? So as I was watching videos of anyway, I'll give a shout out to the people who inspired me. The last year I lost my job. I was looking for a way to make money. I started YouTube, it was moving, but the money had not started coming. So I needed a faster way, because I have plans, I have responsibilities. I'm getting old. I need to settle down soon, and all of that. So I came across Habi, Jeffrey Benson. I don't know in no particular order. I don't know who I came across first. But I came across Habi, Jeffrey Benson, Kojo, FS Goat. That's those twin brothers in South Africa. Kojo is a Ghanaian. Habi and Jeffrey are Nigerians. Came across these four guys, and then along the line I also now met Alex G, who is Colombian American, I believe. I'll put all their pictures in the course of this video so you can know what they look like and go look for them. Alex G, it's FX Alex G. Kojo Forex is Kojo Forex. Jeffrey Benson is Jeffrey Benson. Habi FX, Habi is Habi FX. Damlari Ogundari. Then the FX brothers, they're about okay. By now I'm already talking too much. That's another thing you will be seeing in my videos. I talk a lot, but the idea of this channel, I'm trying to just preach to you that the concept of this channel is going to be plan your losses. Okay, I got a strategy on how to trade last year, but I had still not understood how to manage your losses, which is the game changer, and I just got it this week. So I'm so happy, and I've applied it, and I can see the result. Okay, now What do I mean by plan your losses? For every new trader out there looking to enter the Forex industry, I will tell you again, the first thing you need to know is not just the strategy. The first thing you need to know is how to plan your losses. Now, planning your losses helps you understand pips. It helps you understand pips movement, lot size, that you will use in leveraging the market, and then this will help you to know how to put your stop loss and how to put your take profits as well. Okay, how do I mean? What do I mean? In simple terms, I'm sure you might, if you are starting Forex, you probably look into these things. You have the standard lot, you have mini lots, and then you have the micro lots. Those are the leverages you can use to trade in the market, right? So now, for regular pairs except XAU-USD, for example, micro lots is the smallest. So for micro lots, you are using the 0.01, type of trade. Now, what that means in the Forex market is instead of without, and that is a micro lot, with that 0.01, you now have a leverage of 0.10 in the market. So if you decide to now use 0.02, what that translates to is still a micro lot, so it translates to 0.20 in the market. So that's why you have micro, mini, and standard. So if you are doing 0.02, you are trading with 0.20. If you are using 0.02, you are trading with 0.30. That's for micro lot. Then when you go to mini lots, what mini lot means for regular pairs except XAU-USD. If you are trading, it means that you are trying to trade with your Forex account. You are trying to trade 0.10, 0.20, 0.40. In other words, you are trying to trade, but in the market, your leverage is now without 0.20, 0.10, 0.40. You now have an equivalent of $1. 0.10 is now $1. 0.20 is $2. 0.30 is $3. 0.40 is $4, like that. Okay. So now, when you now move to the standard lots, let's say you're trading on your account 1, you trade 1, you trade 2. You would understand it when you want to place a trade in the market. You will see they'll tell you, okay, choose these options. Either you want to use a micro, mini, or a standard lot. So if you are trading with a standard lot, which is 1, it means in the market you are trading with $10. If you are trading with 2, it means in the market you are trading with $20. If you are trading with 3, it means in the market you are trading with $30. So how does this now help you to plan your loss? With understanding this now, you already know that if I'm using a micro lot, it means that I already have an equivalent of $0.10 in the. It means you have a $0.10 in leverage in the market. If you are using a mini lot, it means you have a $1 in the market. If you are using a standard lot, it means you have $10 in the market. But this is just for the regular pairs, GBP, USD, GBP, JPY, all those pairs, right? But when it's XAU, USD, it changes. Okay, XAU, USD particularly, a micro lot now becomes the leverage given to you on a standard, on a mini lot. So with a 0.01, you are trading $1, right? With a 0.10, you are trading $10. With a 1 standard lot, you are now trading $100. That is what it means in XAU-USD. So micro lots is equivalent to $1. Mini lot is equivalent to $10. Standard lot is equivalent to $100. So now that you've known it, that's why a lot of people go to XAUS, because one small move can give you a lot of benefit. So this is how it happens. A small move, when you trade with your 0.01, that is an equivalent of $1. So that's why if you move small, you can make like $4, $5, $6. You know, you just want small move. You know, same thing if you use one standard lot, you are making $100 for every move. So now, what is PEEP? PEEP is the movement, right? So the very basic way to understand PEEP, if you just look at the market on your right, you see numbers. So if you minus the one that is higher from the one that is lower, whatever you have left, you raise it to a power of 4. The last two digits is equivalent to what you have as your PEEPs. That is what PEEPs is. I'll still show you when I go to my laptop. You know, that is what PEEPs is. So now, when you've understood your lot size and what PEEP is about, it helps you to be able to now know the lot size. Now I'm going to shout out again to Habi. You know, watching all their videos, Habi, Jeffrey, Alex, even Q Banks, you know, Lambo Rahul, you know, most of these guys, I gained 1 or 2 knowledges from them as well. You know, that was how I was able to get this thing, because as of last year, when I found all this, the 2 Nigerians, the Ghanaian, the South African, then I found Alex. I doubled down on Alex. I guess his strategy was a lot more sweeter for me, because I saw he was making a lot more profit on and he was just trading once a week or twice a week at most. You know, I think that time when I joined or was following him, he was doing $100 to $1 million challenge. So it was so sweet and joyful to me. So I focused on him. So, and I learned his strategy of trading once a week, right? Twice a week at most. I also learned how to, if you break your trading plan, you punish yourself. So for example, my trading plan, I just broke it today because this week I analyzed only one trade, which is AUD/USD, right? But by the time I woke up this morning, anticipating that I know that AUD/USD should move in the night, it now moved. I dozed off, and when I woke up, it had gone already. So I could not take the trade, and I analyzed it. I'll show you everything in the chart. All right. So since it had gone, I needed another pair, and it meant that I was breaking my trading plan because I had not analyzed this market on Sunday. So I had to analyze it this morning when I woke up, something around 6, so that I can trade it. And that was when I found GBP CHF, right? So I learned Alex's strategy, which is very simple. He said, what you need to do is you need a minimum of 2 time frames to align. If you have 3, fine, but if you have 2, then you move to the next thing that you need to check before you enter a trade. So after that, you now need an area of interest, right? You need an area of interest. If that checks out, then you need to now get an engulfing on a lower time frame, and then you enter. So now let me break it down. For me, I now added a few things to fine-tune my own. I also learned checking out what the monthly is doing, because it gives you an idea of what the year is. You know, have been doing from Alex as well. So I learned this strategy last year, but I was still losing accounts. But I just figured out everything based on my understanding of lot size, PEEP, most especially on how to manage my stop loss. We got this from Habi, Jeffrey. You know, I was just watching their videos, trying to just understand what I'm missing, and then I just got it this week. Right? That's why I'm making this video. I'm opening this channel so that I can share it with you. Okay, so how this video is going to be, like I told you, I'm not editing anything. It's going to be cut and join, because I'm using Snapchat, so that the background is not too bad, you know, because I'm still upcoming. I need to buy an account so that I can now make the money, so that you guys can now see and I'll buy better equipment and everything, you know. Anyways, so I'm sure you can tell that I'm excited because I made money today. Anyways, so my strategy is very simple. because I fine-tuned and added a bit of thing based on my understanding of the market. I added it to fine-tune it to my own taste. So first things first, when I go into the market, I need to go to the monthly to go see what has been happening, because it gives you a view of the yearly as well, right? When I look at this month, I'm able to see, okay, in the last how many months or last year was price at this, did it do it this way? Is it forming the same pattern? Was there a resistance here? Did it get here and retrace back up? Did it get here, or is this the lowest it has ever been? When last did it get this low? 5 years ago, 3 years ago? Is this the highest it has ever been? When last did it get this high? Just to have an idea, right? Then I go down to the weekly. What is the weekly doing? Is it doing a lower low, a lower high? Are we on a low? Are we on a high? Or a higher high? If assuming it's a higher high and it's not a head and shoulders pattern, I go down to the daily. Is the daily also doing a higher high like the weekly? If the daily is doing a higher high like the weekly, those two higher time frames are even stronger confluences that makes you know that this market is definitely going to go up, compared to if you were looking at it from just the 4 hours, right? So now when I've gotten weekly and daily on the same time frame, then I now go down to the 4 hours. The 4 hours different or the same, also going high. If 4 hours is going low, no problem. I already have a minimum of 2 time frames in sync, right? Now, remember, I have an idea of what the monthly is doing. Maybe I saw that, at this point last year, it got to this point, and then it now went up, right? In the 4 hours is selling, but daily and weekly is buying. So I know that this week we're buying, right? But that is not the only thing that makes me enter the trade. I've gotten this far. Next thing that I need is an area of interest. How does an area of interest work? I'll still show you the chart so that you can see exactly what I'm saying. An area of interest simply means I go down to my daily and 4 hours time frame. I need to peg a location where the market is, or where it stopped, because I analyzed on Sunday where it stopped. I need to peg a rectangle there to see how many touches the market had, forming like a tip of a triangle, either up or down, either this way or this way, tip of the triangle. So if I have at least 6 touches on the daily and I go down to the 4 hours and I have 6 touches again, it must not necessarily touch per se, but you can see it in front, then I know this is surely an area of interest that as it's touching here is definitely going to go back up. So if I have that, that is another confluence that makes me know this market is going up this week. So 6, if you have lesser, it means it's not so much of a stronger level of resistance, so it might actually break it, okay? But then again, it's still not bad. But 6 makes you know that this is a very strong level. So you have to have that 6 on the daily and also have 6 on the 4 hours as well. It will be more when you keep going back, but at least 6, right? It means that level is a very strong level that is respected. So now, once that is sorted, I now go down to my 1 hour, okay? Then I plot my risk to reward. I look at what the market is doing. Okay, the market closed on a low, and anytime a market closes on a low, it must give a lower high, right? So as the market giving a lower high, if it has not given a lower high, and in this case, like I said earlier, the market is buying, right? So I know that since the market closed on a low, immediately the market opens is likely going to go up, meaning even before London session by 8 a.m. Nigerian time, the market might spike up, right? Because it has already created a low, it has given it a setup. So, and another rule is that I don't trade before London session on the beginning of the week only. So even if I've analyzed this trade and I can see it's going to buy, and by 10 a.m. on Sunday, which the market opens, in Nigerian time, it starts to buy, I cannot take the trade because it is not London session. London session is 8 a.m. the next day. So if it now goes and hits my take profit, I've lost that trade and it's fine. I look for another trade, right? So when I now go down to the 1 hour and I plot my risk to reward, this explanation I did earlier of pips, and all of that now comes into play in helping me plot my risk to reward. So let's say, because I'm giving you a very, very beginner friendly training, let's say I'm trading with $50 or even less, right? I'm trading with less, obviously. Okay, let's just say $5, right? I'm trading with $5. Now, because I've now understood pips, leverage, lot size, it now helps me to know what I want to do with my stop loss. So you do it as if you are buying a prop firm account. My $5, I know I don't want to lose beyond 6% of my account. Okay? So now if I don't want to lose beyond 6% of my account, it means I can trade 3 times in a month, and that 3 times in a month I must not lose all, right? So what that means is I'm going to be doing a 2% every week to be able to achieve that 6% in a month, if I do it that way, or 1.5% every week. That is the maximum loss I'm allowed to lose on my account. So now when you do a 5 times 2%, let's say you don't want to lose beyond 2%, 5 times 2 is 10. When you divide it by 100, you see that you have 0.01 or $0.10 that you don't want to lose on that account. That is equivalent to 2%. Because it's this low, that's why you have $0.10 on a $5 account. But if it's higher, it's obviously higher. So, but it's still that same 2%, right? So now, what does that mean? On my stop loss, my stop loss will be calculated by pips, right? If I now say my stop loss is 20, I don't want my stop loss to be more than 20 pips, which is my own style. I don't want it to be more than 20 pips, and usually not lower. Maybe on rare occasions we do see my stop loss lower. Okay, it's usually 20 pips. Okay, or if we're in a trade and I'm adjusting my stop loss, okay, that's when you see it lower. But usually 20 pips, not lower, 20 pips, not higher. Okay, with 20 pips on a $5 account, you now have to multiply whatever leverage you are using in the market by that 20 pips to know how much you are going to lose. Remember, I said we are losing 2%, right? You don't want to lose beyond 2% in the market. So 2%, let me switch the camera so you can look at the calculator. Okay, so $5 account, I said I don't want to lose 2%. So this is 2%. With 5 times 2 is 10 divided by 100. This is how much this is how much I want to lose in the market at most, right? This is 2% of my account. I don't want to lose beyond this, 0.10 or 0.1, right? So now with this, how can I achieve this with a 20 pips stop loss? What that means is I need to trade, let's say I decide to trade 0.01 lot, which is a micro lot, the lowest. I'm doing 20 pips. If I now multiply it by 20 pips, you can see it's already higher than the 2% that I said I want to. You can see it's already higher than the 2% I said I want to lose in the market, right? So that means my 20 pip stop loss might not work, especially because this account is very small, right? So now I have to now look for, because there's no lower leverage I can use in the market than 0.01. So I have to look for a lower stop loss. Let's say I decide to do 10 pips. Now You can see this gives me exactly the 2% that I said I don't want to lose. I want to lose beyond this in the market. It gives me exactly the 2%. Remember when we do 2%, $5, assuming that's your account, times 2, which is the 2%, divided by 100, gives you 0.1. So now, for me to lose, to set my stop loss, I need to know, okay, I'm doing 0.01 lot size times 10 pips. This gives me exactly the 0.01 stop loss and percentage loss that I want. So now what that means is that if the market is at 1.58927, right? If it's going up, it means that it might go up to let's say the market is here, and if it goes against me, I don't want my stop loss to be more than 10 pips. So let's just add plus 10. Sorry, plus 0.00 0 again. Then I just add 10. Now this makes it 1.58937. So what that means is that this is going to be my stop loss. Okay, so let's minus it to make sure we know what we're doing. So this minus minus 1.597. Now, okay, so I think what would have done is 100, because like I said, pips is measured in 4 decimal points, not 5. So meaning that we would have to minus this last digit. Okay, so this was our original digit. So let's say minus 0.00, then 100. So right, so now if this is the initial figure, right, 27 minus the new figure, which is this 1.58827. Why is it giving me 0.001? So now we have to minus the last figures, right? When we minus the last figures, it's not giving me an exact figure. Maybe because I'm just using my head. I'm not using the market price to give you an exact example. Okay, so okay, let me just give a figure. Let me use a figure in my account. Okay, history. Let's look at our loss custom period. So let's do 0.65151. 0.65151 minus 0.65164. Right? Which one is higher? Okay, so that means this is supposed to come in front. Look at the back. Minus 0.65151. So now, like I said, pips is measured in 4 decimal points, not this. So you minus the last one, which makes it 5. Minus the last one. It's still giving me somewhat the same figure, but maybe because I'm using a very small account, that's why it's giving me this very, very low amount. But what I'm trying to explain to you is very simple. To measure your stop loss, based on the examples I had explained earlier, you need to know how much you're willing to lose. Okay, that determines your lot size, your stop loss. So it does the big movement. You know, everything now equates to planning your losses, which is the most important thing you can ever do in the market, that differentiates you from gambling and differentiates you from every other business owner, because you can control how much you want to lose in the market. You can decide, oh, you want to lose more or you want to lose less. Okay, so now, like I showed you, on a small account, if I want to lose, I don't want to lose beyond 2% of my account, it means that I cannot use more than 10 pips stop loss. Okay, I cannot use more than 10 pips stop loss. If I'm using 20 pips stop loss, it's already more than my 2% that I want to lose in that week. Okay, so understanding your stop loss, understanding your pips and lot size helps you to plan your loss, and that is what now enables your strategy to work. Because with that, then you can now plan your profits. Okay, you don't want to lose beyond 2% of your account. Based on your analysis of the market, you want to make times 2 of whatever you are giving to the market, or even more. Okay, so for every move you can now multiply. If you use 0.01, which is equivalent to 0.10 cents, say $10, for every move the market moves in your favor in profit, you are making $0.10. So if the market moves 500 pips and you did 0.01, you multiply that 0.01 times 500. If it moves 10 pips, which is your stop loss, you multiply $0.10 times your 10 pips. That gives you the figure, the amount of losses and the amount of profits you made. So now moving forward, we'll now move into my system so that I can show you this is how it works. Okay, so but before I do that, let me switch to my phone and just show you something. Okay, let me move to my system so we can start from there. Okay, I hope you are seeing clearly. So let's connect it to the internet first. Connect it to the internet first. Okay, so now it should be connected to the internet. No internet access yet, which means it's loading. So now let's go to Chrome. I don't know if it's clear enough. I should bring the system a bit closer. Is this better? I think this is better. Okay. So we're opening Chrome now. Internet is connected here, as you can see. So we'll go to Chrome. How my system was hanging is what I can afford. Taking time to load, so you have to be So you have to be patient, let it load. The time you'll be watching this video, you've seen a lot of join. I mean, like I told you, it's going to be real unedited. As I move forward, maybe when I now get someone that is editing, or I'm paying someone that is editing, then maybe you can now see the other side. But I'm not going to be editing anything in these videos. I'm just going to show you raw as it is. Okay, all right, let's switch. Okay, so this is my own account. Click on it. Okay, and I can see we're in Chrome. Look at that. I hope you are seeing it clearly. It's not too clear, maybe. But anyways, let's go to trading view right away, which is where we analyze from. Click on trading view, which is in my history there. So loading. I don't know, maybe I should adjust it up a bit. I don't know. I don't know if this is better. Okay, because this is not a live video. I would have requested you guys to type in the comments if it's clear enough. But anyways, so this is what we have, right? This is my account. You can see a dark theme. I'm the one who changed it this way because I like most of my devices to be dark theme. I see better and it helps my eyes better with this. So let everything load completely. And then we go to the pairs. You see the analysis, and then you see everything that happened in the market this week. For me, I'm done with the market for this week until next week again. I'll do the analysis live here so that you can see it, you know. But if you are not seeing it, please in the comment section you just let me know so that I would know how to do subsequent videos. Okay, so now this is still loading. Okay, it's downloading now. So the pair I analyzed on Sunday on this laptop was AUD/USD. Okay, AUD/USD. Now, so let's do that. You can see my system is slow, you know, also the internet. So you have to be patient and it loads. Patient. The same way you need to be patient in the market. Okay, if you want to make money, you have to be patient. Sometimes my system can just be a whole lot. Anyways, okay, so my laptop has finally opened. Let me get right into it. As you can see, the pairs I trade every week, I already highlighted them in red. You know, sometimes some markets can be giving some gaps in the market. Right now I'm using O and Da. Okay, so sometimes I change it. So now AUD/USD was the pair analyzed for this week, and you can see the time. This is 10:44 a.m. Let me check my phone to make sure it's the same time. 10:44. Yeah. So I believe it's my network. You can see my laptop, network, everything. Guys, let me make money and get a better device. Okay, you see while that is loading, let me just talk a bit. I have not seen any business that is as sweet and easy for even the most youngest individual to make money beyond Forex. When I say easy and sweet, it's only easy and sweet when you know how to trade. If you don't know how to trade, trust me, it is not easy and sweet. Okay, so now ADUSD has opened, so let's go back. This is ADUSD, right? Still hanging, is still booting, okay. I don't know, it's responding slowly, but let's see. So you can see this triangle. This is the triangle. I said triangle, rectangle. This rectangle is always, I'm sure you might have been seeing it in some traders page. You know, for me, this rectangle is done for my area of interest. So now, like I said, if I want to do my analysis for the week, I first go to the monthly. I don't know why it's responding this way. It's quite slow, really slow. So I go to the monthly. Let's close the minutes. Let's close it. So I go to the monthly. This is the monthly. I click on it. It opens up. Now I can see that. See, you can see this cursor that is moving. When I move it here, I can see which year this was. Now this shows me 2020, February 2020. The next one shows me April 2020. So I can see 5 years ago, market came this low, and when it got to this place, it went back up. Now, when I move the cursor here, 2022, it got this low, it went back up. 2023, it got this low, then went back up. Then 2024, it got this low, went back up. Now this is still 2024, it got this low, but next candle now shows me 2025. So I know that as it has gotten this low, based on what happened 2020, look at 2022, look at 2020, I know that there's a possibility that the market is going to buy from here. But this is February. This is February, this is April, this is May, this is July. The trade we're on is this particular candle. This is the candle we did for this month. This is October. You can see it, October, right? So now I already see that, okay, if it gets this low, it's going to go back up. So it got this low, you can see it. This is what happened this year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. So now, when I entered this market, I saw that the market was up. So I know that there's a possibility it might come down. But like I said, this is not where my major analysis happened. This is just to have a view of what has been happening. So now I go down to the weekly. And then when I look at the weekly, if you understand trading, this is a lower low from here, lower low, lower high. Now, where did it turn? This is where it turned, right? So anything above here makes it a higher high. Oh, now this, it goes above here, so it's above here, so it's now a higher high. And this had a turn here, so this is the highest low, the previous low, I mean. So anything lower than this makes it a bearish movement. So I look at this, and then this is a lower low. I look at it again, higher high, right? Higher low. I see that the weekly is buying, right? Okay, it was not buying because this is the week we are on. This particular where my I just hope you guys are seeing it clearly. Look at my cursor. This is this week, right? Because every single candle in this weekly candle represents a week. Now we're still on this week. Now when I look closely, you can see that from here it's created a higher high, higher low, right? But now beginners might think, okay, because it created a higher low here, it means the market is pushing up. But when you look closely, like I said, the turn happened here for the previous low. So anything lower than this makes the market a bearish movement, not more a bullish movement. So now when I look at the week before, this particular one, just before this particular week we are, which is on Monday 6th of October to the ending of the week, I see that it went below this previous low. You can see it went below it. So what that means is we are selling. That is what the weekly has shown me, right? Now I move to the daily to know what the daily is showing me as well. I move to the daily, right? Let's widen it a bit in case you can't see. Okay. Now, similar to the weekly, you can see a higher high, higher low, higher high. From here, it broke its lower low, little lower high, went again lower low. Now, this is the turn for the lower low. It broke it again, higher high, higher low. It did not go up, instead it came down. So now, and if I put my cursor on this particular candle, you can see this is 10th of last week, 6th, when we looked at it on the weekly, 6th, was it on the monthly? 6th was the beginning of the week last week. So 10th will be 4 days after, which means Friday, thereabout, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So Friday, you can see it is even showing Friday. So Friday, which was the end of the week before this week. So this candle that follows it was yesterday, then this candle is today. So now the daily is also pushing down because it broke this previous low, so it's pushing down. So weekly and daily, as it stands now, I've looked at the monthly and I've looked at the weekly and daily, and they are both pushing down. So let's see what the 4 hours is showing. Okay, so this is Friday 10th of October. Now when I look at it, coming from this high, let's say we follow it from here, this was the lowest low, so that means this is the previous low. So but this broke above it, so this becomes the higher high, right? Higher high, higher low, meaning that anything that goes below this turns into a lower low, right? So now it was here, it broke it, it became lower low, and this one's lower high, previous low is here. It went here, retested, came back down again, created a new low, went here again, created a new low, then lower high. No, so well, before this lower high, I knew that since the market is at this low, because this was where the market closed on Friday, like this, so I knew that before this, once after anything after this cursor was yesterday and today, right? Before it was on Friday last week. So I knew that I have 3 time frames that are going low. I mean, this week we're having a bearish movement, but that alone is not enough reason for me to enter a trade. Now, and I have to plot my area of interest, which is this rectangle you are seeing here. So I go down to the daily, and what does my daily show me? The market ended here on Friday 10th of October last week. So I'm going to plot my area of interest from here, not too wide, and plot it all the way back. Now let's count. This is one touch. Like I said, 6 touches when I was explaining theory. 1 touch. This is another touch. 2. This is a partial touch that came in. 3. This is another one. 4. This is another one coming to the downside. 5. If you don't want to add this one, you can add this one. This one is 6. If you even ignore this other one, look at this one. 7. 8. You can see you already have over 6 touches. So you know that this area is a respected point. Now when you go down to the 4 hours, like I said, you need to have touches on both the 4 hours and daily to confirm that as your area of interest. Now this was Friday last week, right? Friday last week. So touch 1, and you move here, touch 2. So you keep dragging backward, not too far, maybe at most 2 months ago, not too far, to plot your area of interest, you know. But in the 4 hours, you can't even go that far. If your area of interest is the right way on the daily, it will correspond. So we have touch 1, right? We have touch 2 here, right? We'll move again. We have touch 3 here. Can classify this one as touch 4, and this one also that broken a bit as touch 5. When we keep going, look at this. This can be classified as touch 6. Even this one touch 7. You know. Well, now area of interest is also confirmed. So now it means that this trade is already taking a lot of confluences that makes me want to trade it. AUD. So now I go down to my 1 hour so that I can plot my risk to reward, right? This risk to reward was reduced. This was not how it was, right? But when I say reduced, I mean the stop loss, not necessarily. So now, if you can see clearly, you can see an arrow movement. This is something that you'll be seeing. Where is, right? You can see this arrow movement. So I knew the market was going to go back up to retest this area of interest, because this area is respected, like I showed you on the daily and 4 hours, is respected. And since the market closed here, you can see Friday 10th of October, I knew it was going to go back up to retest, right? So when the market opened, it went up, retested, right? By the time I was awake, I had seen the wick, you know, around 7 a.m. The wick, when I say wick is all these lines, the ones that was not filled lines. I had seen the wick. So let me see if let me go to a higher time frame. Okay, I'll go to the higher time frame, but this line, not the full block, the line that was not filled, the hand, this line that was not filled is called wick, W-I-C-K. So I saw the wick, which confirmed my arrow movement that I retested there. So I knew now that for sure it was going to come down. But what I missed and skipped, because when I opened the trade, I witnessed the market somewhere around here, so I felt it was about to go down. Which you too might likely make a mistake is, your analysis and your entry should only be on a lower time frame. Your analysis should be on a higher time frame. So when I can see, if you look at the 1 hour here now, you can see it has fully retested here, right? You can see it fully has retested. But when you go to the higher time frame like the daily, it had not. If you notice, when I put my cursor here, this was yesterday Monday. So by Monday morning around 7 a.m. it was somewhere around here. So instead of me to leave the market Like we all know, if a low is created, a lower high will be followed. If a higher high is created, a higher low will be created. So since the market closed at a lower low, which is this, needed room for a lower high, and I knew that the market was going down, but I did not give it room to create the lower high. So that was what now made me to now take that trade yesterday. If you notice, I took the sell. You can see that was how I took these losses. But because I had done risk management, that's why you see that I lost this small. Right? Now, I knew that my entry was wrong, but I needed it to still learn. So, having lost this, I knew that since yesterday was for a lower high, today, by the time yesterday's market ends around 10-11 p.m. yesterday night, within the night hours, either pre-London or during London session, because it's no longer Sunday, this is going to sell. It's going to break out of this, probably to this position here. So I knew it was going to sell. And when I saw it, I was trying to stay awake, but I couldn't. So I slept off, and when I woke up around 6 a.m., it had already gone. So when I go to the lower time frame, that's when you will see the massive move. You see it. So all this happened this morning. You can see the time. Look at the time. 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. All this move happened this morning. So you can see it's still there. Alright? So now, looking at this, there's no need chasing this trade again. Because when you start to chase trade, that's when you lose, because you don't have a proper reason as to why you're trading the account anymore. So I left this trade and I started looking for a new opportunity. Since this was done, cancel, and then I want to look at the options I have, right? Before I picked AUD USD on Sunday, I looked at GBP. Okay, I didn't look at GBP USD, but I looked at a few pairs: USD JPY, Euro USD, USD card. So I was just looking for something that I can't remember looking at. Okay, and that was how I saw GBP CHF, and I don't remember looking at it. This is it right here. So I clicked on it and did the same analysis like I always do. I go to the monthly. I see this area of interest is quite wide. It's very wide. Oh, when I go to the monthly, what do I see? Sorry, my system is hanging. Okay. So I go to the monthly, and I look at it. You can see everywhere here is blank, which means the market has not gotten this low in a very long time. So what was the closest low it had? If I look at this was 2022, and I look at this one, this is 2023, then 2024 was not even this low. Okay, 2024 was not even this low. Okay, so I knew. Remember, this is the monthly. I don't know if you can see, this is the monthly. So I knew that, okay, two things are involved. This market is either going to go down or it's going to go back up based on what is happening here. Right? So now I go to my weekly. Remember, monthly is just to give you a view of what has been happening in the last few years, not to use it as a criteria to do analysis. All right. Go to the weekly. What is the weekly doing? This was a lower low, lower high, a new low, a new lower high. Now, I can clearly see, because when I need to expand this to be able to make sure that nothing is lower than this to now, because for whatever low you are saying, if this is the lowest low, you need to look at where the previous low was. So now I saw that this one that was here was not lower than this, so this is the previous low. Everything here was just dancing. So this is the lowest low, and the lowest low before this was here. Okay, was here. So what this means is that unless market goes above this, it's still selling. And if it goes below this, unless it goes below this, that is when a new low is created. So since this did not go below this, I knew this was still the previous lowest low. So now here, this was in August. Market bought up on the weekly, right? So now what everything here shows me is that weekly is going down. Okay, I go to the daily. And then I look. It's a very long low, right? Look at this. This is a very long low. Question now is there anything below it? So now lower low, lower high. This is a new low, and then when you keep following it, higher high, higher low, higher high, comes down. So let's just take it all the way to the closest point. So this is lower low, and this was the previous low. So we bought higher high, higher low, higher high. This is the previous low of the higher high. So anything on that, it changes to low. So this is lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. And as of this, which is the lowest low. So as of this low was not as low as this one. So now, and this low, the previous lower high was this. So if anything breaks above this, it changes to a buying instead of selling. So now, did anything break to above it? Yes, it broke above it here. So this now became the higher high, and the previous low for this one is here, because this was the highest high before, and this is the higher low, so it's here. So this now came all the way down and broke below it. You can see it. So this now switched to a lower low position, and nothing has broken above it, which is here. So weekly and daily is selling, right? You go to the 4 hours. Go to the 4 hours, and when we look at it, let's start from here. This is a higher high, higher low. Remember, this is the previous low for the former one. So anything lower than this makes it a bearish movement or not a bullish movement. So bullish is if it's going up, bearish is if it's coming down. So there were a lot of dance, and here it finally broke lower than this. So this now became the new low. Then I was now looking for, okay, did anything break above it again? So now know if it was a higher high. Then if I put my cursor, you can see it did not break above it. It just danced all the way there. All the way there. It did not break above it. So this is a lower high. So now what that tells me is that even if this was a higher, even if this was a higher high, I already have two markets in sync. So this is just an added confirmation that the market is certainly going down. You understand? So this is also going down. So when I now go back to now plot my area of interest, which is usually on the daily, I now plot it based on where the market was. Now this is my rectangle, not too big, so that I can be able to have a reasonable area of interest. So now this is touch 1, just slightly below. Touch 1. This is another one, touch 2 right there. This is another one, touch 3 right here. This is another one, touch 4 right here. This is another one, touch 5 right here. This is another one, touch 6. Now on daily we have 6 touches. We go to the 4 hours. We need another 6 touches to confirm this is a good area of interest. This is touch 1 right here, touch 2 right here, touch 3 right here. When we go back, you can see touch 4, touch 5. We go back again. This is touch 6. Now, like I said, not too far, 2 months at most. This is August, September, so this is 2 months. This is touch 6, 6 touches. So now area of interest is now confirmed. I go to my 1 hour and I plot my risk to reward. But another thing that I said when I was giving you the theory part, which I'm not sure I've showed you, is that I look on the daily. I go for the daily when the week is starting. When the week is starting, and I look at the previous daily. Was there a week? Was there a strong week? You can see this line that was not filled. This is a week. Look at this line that was not filled. This is a week. Look at this line here. This is a week. Okay, so now if assuming this was the previous week, right, and the market showed me that it's going to sell, I know that there's a possibility the market might go and fill this up before it comes back down. So I looked at this for the GBP CHF. This was, where is Monday? This is Monday. Now on Friday last week, which is this red one, it had sold. I don't know if you guys are seeing it. Okay. I don't know if you guys are seeing it. I don't know if it's better this way. Okay. So you can see the weeks now. Now, on Friday, 10th of October, that giving a low. And yesterday, when I was busy looking at AUD USD, this also created a lower high, which is this one, Monday, 13th October. So I knew today it was definitely going to sell, right, to fill up this week that was created by yesterday. Okay, I just hope you guys are seeing me clearly, seeing everything clearly. Don't blame me, it's the device I have. Anyway, I now go to my 1 hour. Since I have a lot of confluences confirmed, I go to my 1 hour and I plot my risk to reward. Okay, this is 14th October as of 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3, 4, 5. So one thing I also noticed, if you're showing 5 a.m., is 1 hour ahead. Okay, like now if you look at the time there is showing 11:16 a.m. But when you put the cursor here, can see, if I put the cursor on this active candle right here, it's showing 10 a.m. when we're already 11, so it's 1 hour ahead. So I was awake at this particular candle where the cursor is, which is at 6 a.m. and I had just seen the AUD USD had gone. But I now analyzed and got GBP CHF, and then I saw the market was about to take a very huge move, right? So did my analysis, plotted my area of my risk to reward, and then I decided to do my 2%, right? But I didn't want it to be this small. You can see what, based on my account, you can see how small it is. Another thing you should know is, without doing the minus, when you plot your 1 to 2, your risk reward, this, when you put the cursor there, there's a number after this. There's a number after this percentage for the stop loss that shows you how much stop loss you are putting. Same thing when you move it to the green side, that shows you how much profit you would make. So here, this is 42 pips for the profit, and up here, this is 6% stop loss in pips as well. So when you now multiply whatever you leveraged, if it's 0.01 lots, micro lots, which is equivalent to 0.10 for regular pairs and $1 for XAUUSD, you know how much you will gain and you know how much you will lose, which is what I was explaining in theory then, if you can remember. So now, when I saw this, I knew based on my account size and because of my stop loss, I could only use 0.01 lots. And even with that, my stop loss would be really small. And if my stop loss is still this small, if the market decides to just retest a bit to take me out before it goes down, which is why this stop loss is so small because of my account. This is why small account is not usually advised to use to trade. So this was not where my stop loss was before. So, but as I was going in profit, I started adjusting it up until here, which was the final place I left it. Okay, so I knew when I look back, it had broken this point. So I knew it was going to come this low, because when I look at the daily, look at this. This was the previous one, so I knew it was going to come this low. Look at this previous one too. I knew it was going to come this low. So I knew it was going to come that low. It was going to break out of that. So I did my risk to reward up until here. Okay, here. So, and then I entered the trade here with my 0.01 lot, and it went straight to take profit. But just the way you see it happened here, when it got here, it now started doing this. This was around the 30 minutes time frame to 8, right? 7:30. This was around 7:30. It did this. It got here. Like I said, it now started retracing back up until here and started dancing exactly here. So here was when I took my profit, and then between then and 8, after taking my profit, it continued down all the way here, and then by 8, then retraced all the way up here, and it's still looking like it's going to continue to go down. Why? Because when you look at the daily, it just broke out of that place it has been for a while. So now let's look at the monthly. It has not been this low in a while, but to create a long wick. So it might create a long wick all the way here, or maybe even as low as here. But as of now, I'm no longer interested in this trade. Any other trade I'm trading right now is just greed. So that's pretty much how it works. Like I said, you don't need to answer Salma to anybody, to make money in the Forex market. All you need is to have the right knowledge, to be able to plan your losses. Anytime you want to, if you decide to trade, the first and most important thing you need to do is plan your losses. That's what you need to start with first. Plan your losses. Once you've understood how to plan your losses, that even saves you from blowing account. To plan your losses, you need to understand the lot size you're using, what pips is about, and to be able to measure it. So you know, okay, if I'm using 0.01 lot size in leverage, this is how much if I will lose if it moves against me. That is how you'll be able to pass Prop Firm's challenge, which is going to be what I'll be looking to do next, and I'll keep documenting every week, just once or twice a week if I take trade like this. But like I said, I broke my trading plan, and to hold myself accountable for breaking my trading plan, which is once a week, and also not trading a pair that was not analyzed on Sunday. Like I said, I analyzed GBP-CHF this morning, so I took the trade. Let me show you now the profit in real life, not just the analysis. So this was yesterday's loss on AUD/USD, as you can see. Then custom period, this is 14 day Tuesday, October 2025. You can see I took a sell on GBP-CHF and I made this much. So that now brought my account to this. Mind you, I was trading with a $4 account. So this was what now brought my account to this, as you can see. So history, if I decide to show you this week only comprises of today and tomorrow. I mean yesterday and today, sorry. That's 13 and 14. And see, based on my losses, then profit, you can see, and this is what I have in the account now. So yesterday I lost $1.35. Today I've already made like ×3 of that amount, which is the goal of trading. And you can see I did this with even the smallest loss size of 0.01. So that was because I already understood how much I wanted to lose as of yesterday, and even today when plotting my stop loss again, I knew how much I wanted to lose in case it goes against me, which is the most important thing, because usually it's not your strategies, because you don't even know how much you want to lose. If you know how much you want to lose, you are still in the game. The market can change even with your strategy and go against you. But when you know how much you want to lose, it will not take you out. You can still trade again. Do you understand? So now, with this, you're able to see what is possible with trading. You're able to see how trading can easily bring you the kind of money you are looking for. The kind of money you are looking for, trading can give you that money. Inside your toilet, you can do the analysis. Inside your room, you can do the analysis and start cashing out. So let me withdraw live so that people will see it. Let me withdraw, but let me first open my account. So now, like I said, I have two accounts. I have the one that I trade NFP, and I have the regular one, right? So now, okay, let me switch the camera. I have two accounts. I have the one I trade NFP with, and I have the regular one. So this personal area, you can see, is a real account. Let it load. Okay. My network is loading slowly. So now, let's go straight to payments. Withdrawal. Okay, I see. So I'm going to withdraw directly to my OPay account, which is this. This is showing because it looks like as if I'm withdrawing. You know, it's an AI platform. It looks as if I'm doing what I usually do, or what I started wearing. I'll pay the minimum requirement of $10, and then I'll now withdraw about $8 or $7, leaving the balance. So maybe because of the benchmark is $10 and my account is not yet there, it's now looking like, oh, I want to withdraw that. But this was actually traded, so I'm trying to withdraw my profit. So I'm going to click OK. Now you can see I'm going to click a withdrawal of, let's do $4. This is the equivalent in Naira. And then I continue. To my OPay. You can see my name, Paul, my surname. So press continue. Online bank. You can see $4. This is the equivalent in Naira. You can see it's not much. And once I press confirm, I'm going to ask for verification. And then I'll do send text message. Okay. So let me type in the message that was sent. So that I can see it. Let me switch it back. Okay. All this is just for safety purposes. Action confirmed. Your transaction is in progress. Look at it, has shown that my balance has changed on my trading account. You can see what is left there. Then you can see OPay has already credited me with that amount. You can see it. So guys, this is the source of my happiness today, because there's so much endless possibilities with trading. The thing that I found trading when I was doing my first degree, I'm so happy I did not even start it then, because I'm someone that can start something. If it's not yielding me my results, I will leave it. The kind of result I want, I will leave it. Okay, so I'm glad I did not start it then, but I started this last year, and I've seen a lot of benefits. I've seen the highs, the low. I've learned this lender, but even with my understanding of the market, and even in moments where I don't have money to trade with because I've blown account, having to understand how to plan my losses this week has changed everything for me. And every week you guys will be seeing new episodes, because I cannot just stress myself. I don't have any, and I'm not going to be editing these videos. It's just going to be as it is, cut and join, because I'm using Snapchat to record it. So when it stops recording, I'll have to click it again to start again. So I showed you everything A to Z. The analysis, the take profit, and the history on my account. But what happened is, this new week that is coming, because I'm done trading for the week, this new week that is coming on Sunday, I will do the analysis so you can see, before the trade and after the trade, so that it's not like, oh, after I've taken the trade and I've traded because it went in my favor. That's why I'm sharing it. So I will also show you that, but I just have to show you this to open the YouTube account so you can see it, and be able to know that these things are possible. Okay, so guys, if you like what I did, you like what you see, you like the knowledge you're gaining, please share to someone that needs to know the most easiest way to understand Forex. Comment in the section, so that these videos can be shared with other people. I will recommend it to other people. And yeah, see you guys at the top soon when I am. You understand now? Or very, 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 very soon. Once you've understood the knowledge, you can be given any amount and you will do the same thing and make money on the same thing. The only thing now is you're trading with a bigger money. So that is when you now start to see the lifestyle now comes into play. Right now, I'm still at my 9 to 5 because this is where my daily bread is coming. Once I'm able to now get my profit account and now start making the kind of bread I want, then no need for 9 to 5 again. Okay, so guys, stay safe. Remember, plan your losses. Oh, I forgot, I'm going to be giving you guys a team dance that you will always see in my videos. So in case it becomes popular tomorrow, remember I was the one that started it. So it's like, there's something spiritual about South African beats that you cannot help. This picture is not so loud, that's why you can be hearing the subtle sound that I'm hearing. The praise that I'm standing up, I felt some prayer. This is going to be the signature dance you'll be seeing every time you watch my videos.